You are now listening to the D. Hankins Show. Life, curveballs, home runs, the D. Hankins Show. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the D. Hankins Show, where we talk about life, help you with your curveballs, and celebrate your home runs. My name is D. Hankins, and they say money talks. But have you ever stopped to think about what you tell your money? Most people think that being broke is a math problem. We think if we only had $1 million, everything would be great. But if you give $1 million to somebody with a scarcity mindset, they won't feel rich. They'll just have $1 million worth of anxiety. Your bank account isn't just a reflection of your job, but it's a reflection of your mental resilience. It's a reflective picture of your mind. So if you want to fix the leak in your wallet, you have to fix the leak in your mental state. This is episode 20, Mind Over Money, the financial connection. Let's get into it. I want to pick up from last week where we talked about the mind being the CEO and the body, the physical resilience, being an employee. Well, in your corporation, money is also an employee. Money is a resource. It's a tool. Your money is going to do exactly what you tell it to do. So if your money is constantly disappearing, your money is always in a chaotic state, it's not because it's bad money. It's something wrong with the CEO. There's something wrong with your mind. The CEO is giving your money, your employees, bad instructions or no instructions at all. And the connection is quite ironic because when your money is chaotic, it starts to impact you emotionally. And one of the biggest killers of just bad money habits and financial stress is emotional spending. We call this retail therapy. I've definitely had my fair share of sessions in retail therapy. I'll tell you, something bad happens, the life throws a curveball, something doesn't go my way. I used to automatically look for something that's going to make me feel good. A new jacket, a new pair of shoes, a new shiny something, a new, for instance, when I was struggling on YouTube and Instagram for a while, it was like, oh, my camera, I got to upgrade my camera. I need these lights and I need fluorescent lights and I need accent lights and I need the newest microphone and I need the newest this. And none of that had to do with me not being consistent. So I wasn't consistent and I expected that, my 30,000 followers are just going to love me if I had the bright lights and my camera looked amazing and so on and so forth. And so those hits from me emotionally and mentally, I felt better by getting the latest thing. I needed to upgrade everything. That's a form of retail therapy. Anytime there's something that goes on in your brain, and I talked about this when we were doing physical resilience, talked about sleep, and that's dopamine. Dopamine is the feel-good hormone. It makes you feel good. And whenever you buy something that releases a dopamine hit, it takes you, it takes you from your low to a certain high. Basically, in the moment, you're buying a product, you're buying something. But the reality is you're actually buying a feeling. You're actually buying a feel-good feeling. You're paying for a I matter. You're paying for a I'm in control. You're paying for a you suck, boss. Take that. You're paying for, these kids stress me out. You're paying for relief. And technically, that is a matter of a lack of mental resilience. because you're using your financial resilience, you're dipping into that bucket to ultimately patch a leak in your mental resilience. And here's the hard truth. If you cannot learn to soothe yourself mentally, you end up paying to be soothed. And those bills, like I said, add up quickly. This is why your credit card looks like that. Look at your credit card. Most of that is stuff you don't need. Most of that is emotions. Your credit card statement is your emotional statement, right? I think of it like Spotify Wrapped, okay? When I get my Spotify Wrapped back, I can see where I was emotionally during the year. Was I having problems in my relationship? Did I have a good year? What month was I listening to this song on repeat consistently? It tells me a lot about where I was emotionally and mentally. Your credit card statement is the exact same way. Your bank account statement is the exact same way. These purchases, these transactions, a lot of them just tell you where you were emotionally. But lucky for you, we have this podcast to fix that. Now let's talk about the other side of the coin, which is avoidance. We call this the ostrich effect. Even though it's a myth, ostriches do not bury their head in the sand to avoid danger. But however, we're just going to use it for this segment, okay? The ostrich effect, okay? What that simply means is this. Have you ever been a person to avoid opening your bank app because you know you overspent that weekend and the balance is going to be low? Or you're the person that leaves your bills in the mailbox for a couple of days because you just don't want to look at it. You don't want to face the reality. And nowadays, we got phones that have notifications. And as soon as you see that Wells Fargo, Bank of America, whatever bank app you have, the Chase Bank, you just swipe it away because you do not want to face that reality. Your CEO tells your employees, right? Even though your stock is plummeting, even though the company doesn't have any money, you tell your employees, don't look at the TV, turn off the news, don't look, it's not real. If you don't look, it's not real. Well, Dr. John Deloney has this book called Building a Non-Anxious Life. And it's about 6 daily habits that you can do to build a non-anxious life. And one of my favorite habits in that framework is choosing reality, okay? You have to choose reality. And I love that because that's hard for people to do. Choose reality, because if you choose reality, now you have to face the problem. Now you have to deal with the problem. When you're weak mentally and you don't have mental resilience, you're the CEO hiding under the desk when the building is on fire. When people need you to step up and steer the ship, you're hiding below deck, cowering. If I don't look at this crash, if I don't look, whatever, let somebody else handle that. And that's just not how the body works. That's just not how your life works. Remember, on this podcast, we do what? Take full and absolute responsibility for our lives. You're the CEO. You got to run the company. You have to look at the problems. You have to go through the records. You have to go through the files and say, okay, where can we start? Resilience will always be about facing the problem, looking the monster right into the eye and telling it, you're going down, because you can't fix what you can't see. You can't face what you're running from. It's impossible to do so. You have to turn around and you have to face the storm. I've been there, man. I've been there. And I've learned to, it sucks to open your bank app, see a negative number. It sucks. I'll be honest with you. It sucks to have no money. It sucks to be waiting for the month to pass and it's only 6 days in and you're already broke. You're already overdrawn. It sucks to look at a credit card constantly increase. It sucks to look at the minimum payment and then look at the interest charged to that. It sucks to do those things. And high mental resilience is opening the app and it's feeling those feelings. It's feeling the pit in your stomach. It's feeling the gravity of being in debt, the gravity of eviction notices, the gravity of looking out of your window for the repo, man. It's appalling, man. It sucks to feel those feelings, but that's the reality. The reality is I'm in this spot. And I put myself in the spot. How do I get out? How do I face this monster? Or what my coach would say, how do I slay this dragon? But it starts in the mind. You have to reframe things and you have to build that mental resilience by telling yourself, the CEO has to man up, has to woman up, okay? And tell yourself a negative net worth doesn't mean a negative self-worth. Get from under the desk. Stop being scared. Start making the proper decisions when it comes to your financial health, or you're going to forever be broke. And I know that hurts to say and that sucks to say, but it's true. Each and every one of you has the ability to accumulate wealth. And that may be different for other people, right? Some people, wealth is enough money to be able to spend time with their kids and their family, go to practices, go on vacations. To other people, it may be massive amounts of wealth, $1 million, $1 billion, so on and so forth. You can do it. Oh, I don't have any money. If you look at your W-2s throughout the years, what you have spent your money on, how much money you have given away, you will see that you've had plenty of money. You've had plenty of money. You just gave it all away to cars, to houses you couldn't afford, to stupid things, right? Stupid things that you either can't take back or you don't want to take back. There's some people out there that just don't want to be financially successful, and that's okay, but don't complain about it because no one can force you to do this. Now, bad things happen. You might get laid off of a job, but if you've gotten one job, you can get another one. Make yourself valuable. We already talked about that in past episode, but you have the ability to do that if you take full responsibility for your life. We'll be right back. As you know, my passion is to help people build resilience, and it's a journey I've been on my entire life. That's why I created the D. Hankins At Best Student Development Program. I started the program because I once was a student facing major curveballs, and I want to show students that they have a chance at a successful future no matter their background. We empower students with a 6-step framework called Win Your Challenges, and we build a network of support between students and parents and caring adults in their lives. If you're a parent, educator, or administrator and want to learn more about how we build bridges and transform school communities, I invite you to visit my website, dehankins.com. That's DEEHANKINS.com to learn more about how you can bring the At Best program to your school. Welcome back, y'all. Last week, we talked about narrative control, right? Mental narrative control, meaning that as a CEO, the mind, as the CEO of the body and your money, you can change the narrative. You can flip the script. So how are you talking to yourself about money? I've heard people say this, and I've been a victim of this as well. Of saying I'm bad with money. I'll never get ahead. Make all these excuses. The rich people are just lucky. They got it made. Whatever else we tell ourselves to not do what we need to do to get to where we want to go. But this is what's awesome and also scary about the mind. If you constantly tell yourself you're bad with money, your brain is going to follow suit. Your brain is going to support you either way. Unconditionally, your brain is going to support whatever you tell it to. You tell yourself you're not good with money, you'll always be broke, you'll never pay off your debt. Well, guess what? Your brain will subconsciously sabotage you to prove that you're right. You'll blow the budget and just say, see, I knew it. I knew I was right. I'll never be good with money. You'll blow your check. Because that's how your brain works. It supports you 100%. So we need to flip the script from scarcity to strategy. This is what I did. I had two methods when it came to controlling my retail therapy and two methods when it came to paying off my debt. Dave Ramsey being the biggest help for me, for sure, helping me get mentally, and that's what he did, right? Like, a lot of people don't like Dave Ramsey, but so what? Mentally, he helped me see money differently. He helped me see that I was in control. But one thing that I did was, whenever I had this urge to buy things, I would immediately go to a store. I'd go to Foot Locker. I'd look at a pair of shoes. I'd ask the total. And how much would this be total? Tax, everything out the door. Okay. And just to make it easy, $100. Okay. These shoes would be $100. And I'd leave the store, and immediately I would go to my credit card and I would pay $100 towards my credit card balance. Okay. I separated my credit card because a credit card adds to your victim mentality. A credit card says you can afford anything, but you got to pay for it later. So in the moment when you're swiping, you don't see the charges. You don't have to pay it directly. It doesn't affect your physical bank account. So you can have your regular bank account, and you can have, let's say, $500 in your personal checking account. You could take a credit card and you could swipe tens of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise, vacations, jewelry, any trinkets, electronics, whatever, and never see the balance change ever, right? Just swipe. The ostrich, right? The ostrich effect. You swipe. You don't see it, so it's not real to you. You don't see that. It doesn't affect this account right here. Your brain, there's no alarms go off because you're hiding it. Now, what I did is I would start to look at things and say, instead of saying I can't afford it, I'm going to save up for it, right? And once you do that, once you start saving up for things, you realize you don't really want it. You do not really want it, okay? And so that's one way to do it. That's one way to kind of change that mindset to strategy. You can afford these things, but save up for it slowly but surely, and then see if you really want it. Then, when you change the language, you change the emotion. When you change the emotion to something more strategic, I am going to pay off my debt. I'm going to set aside $100 a month. Me and my family, we have this growth, what do we call it? A sinking fund for certain things like Christmas and so on and so forth. I put however much money in, okay, a month, and at the end of the year, this much is in that account, and this is how much I spend on Christmas, right? Because I'm taking the power back. Instead of going, oh, Christmas, I can't afford Christmas presents, I go, I have the money. I've done the work throughout the year. I have the money, and now I'm going to use this money to buy whatever we can afford Christmas gifts for my family. That creates power. That's also strategy. Instead of Christmas coming up and saying, oh my gosh, I don't have enough money. My kids are going to hate me because I can't afford this and that, so on and so forth. And then using the ostrich card, right? We're going to call it the ostrich cards, where you don't see the money and you just credit card for things that they throw away anyway. And that's a whole nother thing. I'm not going to go on that rant because I already talked about Christmas in another podcast episode, but get your power back. Change the language from scarcity to strategy. Change the emotion. When you change the emotion, you change the feeling. You change the role of the CEO to a power play where you're telling your money what to do. You're telling your finances where to go. You're doing what you're supposed to do as a CEO, and you're running the company efficiently. This week's challenge is, let's call it the why check. And this is what you're going to do for the next week, okay? And put a comment down below. Give me a check mark or a thumbs up if you're up for this challenge. For the next 7 days, before you buy anything, whether outside of groceries or gas, I want you to stop and I want you to ask one question. What feeling am I trying to buy right now? Are you buying a coffee because you're actually thirsty? Or are you buying a coffee because you're bored on your lunch break? Are you buying a t-shirt because you need a new shirt, or because you had a bad day and you want to feel new? Are you buying a new gym outfit because you actually need one? Or are you buying a new gym outfit because the other girl looked cute and you saw her getting all the attention? Are you buying a new truck because you need one because your other car broke down? Or are you buying a new truck to keep up with the fellas at your job? What feeling am I trying to buy right now? So if you catch yourself buying the feeling, stop. Put the wallet away. Address the mental feeling. Address the emotion. Was it a bad day? What did somebody say something to you? Did you feel disrespected? Address the emotional component to it and then deal with it as needed. Remember, your money doesn't control you. You control your money. All right, y'all, that wraps up episode 20. Remember, mental resilience isn't just about thinking positive. It's about taking control so that your body and your wallet don't crash. And then next week, oh man, next week we bring it home as we connect mental resilience to spiritual resilience. And trust me, you do not want to miss that one. That's probably going to piss a lot of people off, but hey, it is what it is. As always, if this episode helped you or maybe even helped you save a buck this week, please consider giving a like, subscribing to the channel, not only the shorts, but the actual channel, sharing the podcast, commenting, all the whole nine. It helps me, it helps the channel, and I love it, okay? So visit www.dhankins.com. There's resources out there. If you're a CEO of a company, maybe a superintendent, and you want your employees to be more resilient, more accountable, more responsible in their life, especially in the areas of the 3 buckets, to help them get more motivated, to help them get back on track, consider bringing me in as a trainer. Again, just visit www.dhankins.com. Contact me. I love to hear from you. Don't forget, y'all, episode 20 next week. And as always, remember, life throws curveballs, but even curveballs can be hit for home runs. Thanks for rocking with me.